I once thought I'd married for love. Turns out I was just the sugar mama and live-in nanny for a family of 3. The cruelest part? The son I'd raised for 4 years called someone else mom in a late-night phone call. I couldn't sleep and was scrolling on my phone in the middle of the night when I saw a brag post on an anonymous forum. The title stabbed straight into my eyes. My sister-in-law doesn't know my brother and I aren't blood-related. The photo showed 2 hands clasped together, fingers interlaced. On the woman's wrist was a Patek Philippe. On the man's wrist, a Tiffany yellow diamond cufflink. My breathing stopped. I knew that watch. There's only one in the world. I designed it myself. On the back of the case are the initials of my husband and me. I knew the cufflink too. It was my wedding anniversary gift to Lucas last year. A coincidence? I don't believe in coincidences. I took a screenshot immediately. My phone auto-backed it up to the cloud. Just as I was about to scroll, the post suddenly went private. They panicked. I called my assistant. It was daytime in China. 3 things, I said calmly. First, recover the deleted post. Second, trace the poster's IP and all available information. Third, contact a private investigator. I want every movement Lucas and Lily have made over the past 6 months. My assistant didn't waste a word. Understood, Miss Sharon. The next afternoon, I went to pick up Max from school. He's my son, 4 years old, in the junior class at an international kindergarten. He climbed into the car. Before I could even buckle him in, he looked up and asked, "Mommy, when are Daddy and Aunt Lily coming back?" "Tomorrow," I said. Max suddenly grinned and blurted out, "Then our family can finally be together, right?" My fingers froze on the steering wheel. Our family? Me, Lucas, Max. So what was Lily? I looked at Max through the rearview mirror. His blonde hair, his blue eyes, the curve of his smile, just like Lucas, and just like Lily. People say nephews resemble their uncles. But what if he wasn't a nephew? That night, I bathed Max. He was playing with the bubbles when he suddenly said, "Aunt Lily said when I grow up, she'll take me to Disneyland. Daddy's going too. Just the 3 of us." I asked, "What about Mommy?" Max blinked. "Mommy has to work. Mommy's always busy." Something went cold in my chest. Lucas chose his name. Maximilian. He said it meant the greatest. Now I wonder what he was really commemorating. 5 years ago, the company had an overseas assignment in New York. Great position. A real stepping stone. Lucas wanted it, but he wasn't qualified enough. I gave up my own promotion opportunity to support him. I used every connection my late father had left behind to pave the way for him. Before he left, he held me and said, "Sharon, once I'm established, I'll bring you and the baby over." I wasn't even pregnant back then. 3 months after he left, his sister Lily got accepted into a university in New York. I wrote her recommendation letter. I paid her tuition. A year later, I got a call from Lucas. He sounded exhausted and angry. "Sharon, something happened. Lily was tricked by some asshole. She's pregnant." He ran. I was stunned. "She's emotionally shattered. Her studies are basically over. And the baby can't stay. But she's in poor health. The doctor says abortion isn't recommended." He sighed. "I don't know what to do. Maybe we could help her? Raise the child temporarily? Once she graduates and gets settled, we'll give the baby back to her?" At the time, I thought he was incredibly responsible, so devoted to family. I said, "Okay." After Max was born, Lily came to visit a few times. She cried every time, thanked me, apologized to me. As Max grew older, he clung to me. He needed me to put him to sleep, needed me to feed him. But now that I think about it, that wasn't attachment. It was acting. He only became extra dramatic when Lucas and Lily were on video calls, throwing himself into my arms, loudly declaring, "Mommy, I love you the most." He secretly kept a photo of Lily tucked under his pillow. Once, while I was reading him a story, the book said, "Every child is an angel, sent to the mother who loves them most." Max whispered, "But isn't my real mom an angel too?" I thought it was just childish nonsense. Now I know. He was never my child. The private investigator's report arrived even faster than the post-recovery. A thick stack of documents sat in my study. I turned on the desk lamp and read page by page. Document 1, Household Registration Records. Lucas Carter and Lily Carter, registered as siblings. But in the remarks column, a single line of fine print, step-siblings. No blood relation. My heart genuinely skipped a beat. Document 2, Lily's birth certificate. Father, Lucas Carter. Mother, unknown date of birth, 21 years ago. Document 3, DNA paternity test report. Subject A, Lucas Carter. Subject B, Maximilian Carter. Probability of paternity, 99%. Conclusion, Lucas is Max's biological father. I set the report down. My fingers were ice cold. They didn't shake. I kept reading. Document 4, marriage registration. Nevada, Las Vegas. Registered parties, Lucas Carter, Lily Carter. Date of registration, 2 years ago. At that time, Lucas and I had already been legally married for 3 years. Bigamy. I closed the folder and leaned back in my chair. My assistant called. Miss Sharon, the post has been restored. The content is very detailed. Do you want to see it? Send it, I said. The post was long, like a disgusting diary, written by Lily. I've finally been waiting for this day. My brother has come clean with her. From now on, we can be together openly. I know a lot of people curse at me, but what's wrong with love? My brother and I grew up together, we belong to the same world. What is she, anyway? Just a rich, stupid woman. My brother said he only got close to her for her resources and connections. After her father died, she inherited so much money and stock, it would have been a waste not to take it. The first time we crossed the line was the year my brother went to New York. I went to visit him, drank too much. He said he felt sorry for Sharon. I said, you don't even love her. And then later, I got pregnant. My brother panicked. I told him not to be scared, just say I was tricked by some jerk. That Saint Sharon would definitely take the fall. And she did. She even paid my tuition and gave me living expenses. I'm dying laughing, using her money to raise my brothers and my child. Last Christmas, my brother went back to New York on a business trip. In reality, it was our family of 3 spending the holidays together. We were on their marital bed. It felt insanely thrilling. She was probably at home waiting for his overseas call. The best part? The watch on my wrist was custom-made by her. My brother gave it to me. She said it symbolized their love. Now it's on my wrist. My brother says it looks better on me than on her. On the wedding day, my brother and I kissed in the lounge. She was right outside entertaining guests, completely clueless. So pitiful. Soon, once my brother gets the vice president position and real control of the company, he'll divorce her. Then all the assets will be ours. She'll be kicked out with nothing. She'll never know that the son she raised for 4 years, calling her mom every day, is actually thinking of me, his real mother. My brother is mine. The child is mine. And the money will be mine. She is nothing. I finished reading. My stomach churned violently. I rushed to the bathroom and threw up. That night, Max went to bed early. As I passed his room, I heard faint voices. He was on the phone. His smartwatch. I stood outside the door. Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. His voice was full of excitement. I miss you so much, Daddy. Mommy. It felt like my heart was pierced by an ice pick. That woman? Max lowered his voice, full of disgust. She's so annoying. Always bossing me around. Won't let me eat candy. Makes me go to bed. I know I have to pretend to be good, but pretending is so exhausting. Last time I broke her favorite vase on purpose. She didn't even scold me. So boring. Don't worry, I won't let her find out. Once we get the money, we'll kick her out. Right? I love you guys the most. See you tomorrow. The call ended. I pushed the door open. Max jumped in fright, his watch falling to the floor. His face went pale. Mom. Mommy? I picked up the watch. The call log showed, Dad. I placed the watch on the desk. I looked at Max, the child I had raised for 4 years. I had fed him, rocked him to sleep, cried when he was sick, smiled at his first steps. Now, there was only fear in his eyes, and hatred. You always knew, didn't you? I asked. Max bit his lip and said nothing. You knew Lily was your biological mother. You knew you, Dad, and her were the real family. Everything you did in front of me was just acting. Suddenly, Max looked up. There was a viciousness in his eyes that didn't belong to a child his age. So what if I did? You're not my mom anyway. You're just that useful idiot Dad talked about. I nodded. I didn't cry. I didn't shout. The last trace of emotion I had as a mother was severed, cleanly, at the root. The next afternoon, Lucas and Lily came home. They walked in together, like a married couple. Max screamed with joy and threw himself at Lucas, then ran to hug Lily. The three of them held each other, laughing, piercing laughter. I sat on the living room couch and watched. When Lucas saw me, he let go and put on his usual gentle smile. Sharon, I'm back. Did you miss me? Lily stood beside him and smiled shyly at me. Sister-in-law, sorry to intrude. I just landed and came back with my brother. Excellent acting. I picked up the folder on the coffee table, walked over, and handed it to Lucas. Sign it. His smile froze. What is this? Divorce papers. The air solidified. Lily reacted first, gasping. Sister-in-law, what's wrong? Is there some kind of misunderstanding? Lucas flipped through the agreement. His face darkened with every page. Asset division, custody, alimony. The terms were brutal, leaving him with almost nothing. Sharon, have you lost your mind? He reached for my hand, softening his voice. Did I neglect you lately? I'll apologize. Let's talk this through. Don't joke about divorce. I pulled my hand away. A misunderstanding? I looked at Lily. Do you need me to remind you about your marriage registration in Las Vegas with my husband? Ever heard of bigamy? Lily's face went deathly white. Lucas panicked too. You're talking nonsense. I slammed a stack of copies onto the table. Household records, birth certificate, DNA report, marriage registration, screenshots of the forum post and recovery logs. Need more? My voice was calm. Details of what you did on my marital bed? Or the chat records where you planned to wait until my father's old allies retired and Lucas took control, then kick me out penniless? Lucas staggered back a step and glared at Lily. It was you. You posted that. Lily screamed. I didn't. I set it to private. Enough. I cut them off. The show's over. Lucas took a deep breath, then suddenly dropped the act. His expression turned cold, arrogant, even. So what if you know? Sharon? What successful man doesn't have a little something on the side? I've been sick of you for ages, always looking down on me like some generous benefactor. Without me, do you really think a woman like you could run the company? He wrapped an arm around Lily's shoulders. Lily understands me. She's the one I love. Max is our son. We're the real family. Be smart, let's split peacefully and I might let you save some face. Otherwise what? I asked. I'll ruin you. Don't forget. I handle a lot of the company's key projects. If I leave, see how many clients stay with you. Max suddenly charged at me and shoved me hard. Bad woman. You're bullying my daddy and mommy. Get out of my house. I didn't move. The study door opened. 2 bodyguards stepped out, one on each side, easily restraining the screaming, kicking Max. Lucas and Lily were stunned. Why, you have bodyguards at home? I adjusted my cuff. They've been here since the day I saw the post, I said, looking at Lucas. Just in case a cornered dog decided to bite. Take your lover and your son, and get out of my house. My lawyers will contact you. Lucas stormed out with Lily and Max. Before leaving, he threw back one last threat. Sharon, you'll regret this. Tomorrow at the company onboarding ceremony, I'll officially be promoted to group vice president. Then I'll make you come crawling back on your knees and beg me. They checked into the most expensive 5-star hotel in the city, the presidential suite. In the past, all of that had been charged to my supplementary card. Half an hour later, my phone rang. It was Lucas, furious and unhinged. Sharon, what did you do? Why are all my cards frozen? The hotel wants cash. Where am I supposed to get that much cash? I replied calmly. All of your credit cards, debit cards, and investment accounts are either supplementary cards under my name or joint accounts. I just requested a freeze. Oh, and the car registered under your name? The title's mine. I've already sent someone to repossess it. Your hotel bill is your problem. After all, you're about to be promoted to vice president, right? 7-figure salary. Surely you won't be unable to afford a room? Just wait. After tomorrow, I'll make you pay for this. He hung up. I called the chairman of Reed Group, Mr. Thompson, an old friend of my father's. Uncle Thompson. About tomorrow's Asia-Pacific VP appointment, Sharon. I know what you're getting at. Lucas is indeed on the short list, and he has strong backing. I've sent some materials to the disciplinary committee, evidence related to his bigamy, fraud, and abusive position to funnel company resources to affiliated private entities. There was silence on the other end for a few seconds. I understand. The projects will continue, but the candidate will re-evaluate by the rules. Thank you, Uncle. If your father knew, he'd be heartbroken. He wouldn't, I said softly. He'd be proud of me. After hanging up, I looked out the window. At that very moment, Lucas was probably still in the hotel room, furiously making calls, scrambling to borrow money while fantasizing about humiliating me at tomorrow's onboarding ceremony. The next day, Reed Group headquarters, the executive onboarding and promotion conference. A lot of media showed up. This was a major personnel announcement. Lily started a live stream early. The title read, "Accompanying my husband to his promotion ceremony, after the storm comes the calm." On camera, she wore the Patek Philippe, leaning into Lucas with a sweet smile. Lucas was sharply dressed, radiating confidence, shaking hands and accepting congratulations. Max, in a tiny suit, was holding Lily's hand, looking around curiously. A happy family of 3. The live stream flooded with viewers, some curious, some furious, some just there for the drama. I sat in the VIP observation section to the side, wearing sunglasses. The conference began. The chairman spoke. Then came the Asia-Pacific business report. Finally, the vice president appointment. The host announced clearly, "Next, we announce the appointment of the Asia-Pacific operations vice president." Lucas adjusted his tie and prepared to stand. By resolution of the board, the appointment goes to Mr. David Chin. The spotlight swung to the other side. A middle-aged Chinese executive stood up and waved with a smile. Thunderous applause. Lucas froze in place. The smile on his face shattered. Lily's live stream camera jolted violently. The chat exploded. What's going on? Wasn't it Lucas? Did they mess up? Look at Lucas's face. Holy crap. I'm dying. Lucas suddenly stood up and rushed toward the stage, ignoring all decorum. Chairman, this is impossible. It was supposed to be me. There must be a mistake. Mr. Thompson looked at him coolly. Mr. Lucas Carter, after final review by the company's disciplinary committee, we've determined that your current situation does not meet the ethical and compliance standards required for a vice president. Your candidacy has been revoked. What ethics? What's wrong with me? Lucas shouted, losing control. At that moment, I stood up, removed my sunglasses, and walked toward the stage. Spotlights and cameras instantly locked onto me. Lily screamed, "Sharon, it was you! You did this!" Her phone camera swung straight at me. Perfect. I stepped up to the podium and took the microphone. "Hello everyone. I'm Sharon Carter, daughter of Robert Sharon, the late founder of Reed Group." The hall fell silent. Live stream numbers skyrocketed. Regarding Mr. Lucas Carter's ethical issues, I can provide a few clarifications. I nodded to my assistant to bring up the presentation. First slide, an overseas assignment letter from 5 years ago. Lucas Carter is hereby assigned to New York as project manager. Remarks, strongly recommended and personally guaranteed by MS. Sharon Carter. Second slide, a list of major projects Lucas oversaw over the past 5 years, alongside records of capital injections from my foundations and investment firms into the affiliated companies during the same periods. Third slide, a marriage certificate from Las Vegas, Lucas Carter and Lily Carter. Date, 2 years ago. Fourth slide, Max's birth certificate. Father, Lucas Carter. A collective gasp swept the room. The live stream chat completely flooded the screen. Holy shit, bigamy? The kid's 4? That means before the marriage, so the overseas post was the wife's pull. The projects were fed by the wife. And he still cheated and raised an illegitimate kid? Living off her and still having the audacity. Disgusting. Lucas's face turned paper white. You're lying. These are all fake. Mr. Thompson took the microphone, his voice grave. These documents have all been verified as authentic. The group has formally launched an investigation into Mr. Lucas Carter for dereliction of duty and improper transfer of interests. Effective immediately. He is suspended from duty. No! Lucas screamed, collapsing. Lily's live stream cut off. The final image was her ashen face and Max crying. Under the spotlight, Lucas looked like a clown stripped naked, staring at me with bloodshot eyes full of hatred. I looked back at him and said quietly, so only he could hear, "You thought Lily stole you away? You're wrong. You were never worthy of standing beside me." Before the room could settle, another group walked in, black suits, stern expressions. At the front were my lawyer and 2 police officers. The lawyer walked straight up to Lucas. "Mr. Lucas Carter, on behalf of my client, Ms. Sharon Carter, I formally notify you, due to your suspected crimes of bigamy, fraud, and illegal transfer of marital assets, we have filed a criminal complaint with attached civil claims. These are the relevant documents." The police showed their badges. "Mr. Lucas Carter, please come with us to assist with the investigation." "No, you can't arrest me. I'm an American citizen. You are suspected of bigamy. The evidence is conclusive. Please cooperate." As Lucas was handcuffed and taken away, he kept screaming obscenities. Lily tried to rush forward, but the police stopped her. The lawyer turned to her. "Ms. Lily Carter, as a party to the bigamous relationship and an accomplice in fraud, you will also be held legally accountable. In addition, Ms. Sharon will be reclaiming all tuition and living expenses paid on your behalf, totaling $487,000. Here is the itemized statement." Lily's legs gave out. She collapsed to the floor. The lawyer then looked at Max, who was clinging tightly to Lily. "As for the custody of Maximilian Carter, given that both biological parents have committed serious wrongdoing and lack stable caregiving capacity, Ms. Sharon has petitioned the court to revoke the adoption. Child Protective Services will take temporary custody. This is the court's provisional order." CPS workers stepped forward and gently but firmly took the crying Max from Lily's arms. "No! Give me back my child! Sharon, you'll rot in hell!" Lily screamed, hair disheveled, completely unhinged. I watched the entire scene calmly. The lawyer lowered his voice and asked me, "Ms. Sharon, regarding the damages, shall we pursue the maximum amount?" I nodded. Every cent. Lucas was released on bail. The cost, all accounts under his name were completely frozen, and he signed an enormous surety agreement. He and Lily took Max and rented a rundown little apartment. My asset audit report came back as well. Over the past 5 years, Lucas's personal spending totaled $2.3 million. Luxury goods, high-end watches, exotic car rentals, and upscale travel made up the bulk of it, most of it spent on dates with Lily. He used my money to build an elite image for his other family, and his own salary and bonuses. The investigation showed that because he had long diverted project resources to shell companies privately registered under his and Lily's names, company profits suffered. His performance bonuses were heavily docked, an estimated $800,000 lost over 5 years. In reality, he had barely contributed anything financially to the household. The luxury items were quickly sold off to pay for legal fees and bail. They were close to missing rent. Lily tried to find a job, but she had an incomplete degree and a resume full of scandals. No legitimate company wanted her. In the end, she became a waitress at a nightclub. Lucas begged around for work too, but word travels fast in the industry: bigamy, living off his wife, betraying company interests. No company dared to hire him. Debt collectors called non-stop. My legal team pushed the lawsuits forward methodically. Once the bigamy charge was confirmed, he would face prison time. The civil damages alone were enough to bankrupt him 3 times over. Everything he once had, respectability, luxury, envy, had been a mirage, and the woman who created that illusion took her magic back. Just when everything seemed settled, something happened to Max. He suddenly collapsed at kindergarten and was rushed to the hospital. Tests revealed a rare hereditary blood disorder. He needed a bone marrow transplant and a close genetic match. Lucas and Lily were the first tested. Both failed. The doctors found it strange and recommended a deeper genetic screening. With no other options, Lucas began searching for Lily's biological mother. Lily had once mentioned she might still be alive in some other state. A private investigator found the woman in a remote town care facility. She suffered from severe dementia. They obtained her blood sample and retrieved sealed welfare records. The files revealed a shocking truth. Lily's biological mother had multiple brief relationships in her youth. Lucas's father was one of them, but not Lily's biological father. As for Lily's real father, the file listed only a code name: but his blood type record showed he suffered from the same hereditary blood disorder as Max. Further investigation uncovered something even darker. Lucas's father and Lily's biological mother were half-siblings, same mother, different fathers, which meant Lucas and Lily were blood-related. They were cousins. The cause of Max's illness was finally clear, a genetic disorder caused by inbreeding. When the lawyer handed this report to Lucas, who was awaiting trial in detention, he froze, then tore the report to shreds in a frenzy. Impossible! This is impossible! Lily and I aren't related. We love each other. This is slander. But the DNA results sat there, cold and irrefutable. He thought he had crossed moral boundaries for true love. In reality, he had been trapped all along in something far more grotesque. Lily didn't last long at the nightclub. She was used to being spoiled with my money, couldn't swallow her pride, and made constant mistakes because she was mentally unraveling. She was fired quickly, desperate. She accepted being kept by a regular client and moved into an apartment. The man was in his 50s, married, with children. 2 months later, the wife showed up, with people, catching them in bed. The wife wasn't someone to mess with. She not only beat Lily publicly, but also leaked the entire story to tabloids, Lily's glorious history, seducing her brother-in-law, bigamy, abandoning her child. That was the final blow. A video of Lily being stripped and thrown out of the apartment went viral online. She became a complete laughingstock. Mentally shattered, Lily was admitted to a public psychiatric hospital. As for Max, after brief care by child services, with Lily missing, Lucas incarcerated, and both parents deemed unfit and seriously at fault, he was formally placed in a state-run child welfare institution. Lucas learned all this in prison. He tried to apply for temporary release, to see Max, to find Lily. It was denied. The evidence of bigamy was airtight. His sentence was set. In the cold cell, all he could do was replay it over and over, for so-called true love and freedom. He abandoned the woman who had given him everything. In the end, true love was a twisted bloodline curse, and freedom was iron bars. He lost his dignity, his career, his lover, and forever lost his son's respect and health. 1 year later, my life was long back on track. The divorce was fully finalized. I reclaimed everything that was mine, more than mine. My father's old allies backed me completely, and my influence on the board grew stronger by the day. I was no longer anyone's wife, anyone's mother. I was Sharon Carter, board member of Reed Group, founder of the Sharon Foundation. One night, very late, my private phone rang, an unfamiliar prison number. I knew who it was. It rang 3 times. 4, 5. I didn't answer. I hung up. A few minutes later, a text came through, from the prison's monitored system. Reviewed and approved before delivery, Sharon. I'm sorry. I really was wrong. Please, go see Max. Tell him, his dad, loves him. I didn't reply. I blocked the number. I won't help him complete his redemption arc. I won't give him a chance to have his confession answered. The harm he did to me won't be neutralized by something as cheap as forgiveness. His guilt, his pain, his ruined life. Those are consequences he earned. They have nothing to do with me. My lawyer later told me that Lucas received a small sentence reduction for good behavior in prison, but his release is still a long way off. He's been diagnosed with severe depression. After Lily was discharged from the psychiatric facility, she disappeared. Some say she was spotted in a rundown bar in another state. Max is still in foster care. His condition is under control, but he'll need long-term treatment. The welfare agency sends me periodic updates. After reading them, I instruct my foundation to allocate dedicated funds for his medical care. No emotion involved, just humanitarian responsibility. My business empire keeps expanding. I've invested in renewable energy and biotech with outstanding returns. When the media mentions me now, they no longer say the rich woman who was horribly deceived by her bigamist husband. They say the decisive and formidable business heiress, Sharon Carter. The version of me that was once blurred by marriage has become razor-sharp, clear, powerful. I don't need marriage to define my worth. I don't need a man to give me a sense of security. My existence itself is value, is strength. My father warned me back then, said Lucas was too ambitious, morally crooked. I didn't listen. I don't regret having loved. The feelings I had back then were real. My mistake was misjudging a person, giving sincerity and wealth to a parasite who didn't deserve either. But kindness isn't wrong. Sincerity isn't wrong. What's wrong is exploiting kind people. Today, I stand in the top floor office of my new company. Outside the floor-to-ceiling windows is the most vibrant skyline in the city. On my phone is a freshly signed May deal, 9 figures. On my desk sits a nomination letter for Business Leader of the Year. And inside me, there's a vast, quiet calm. Looking back at that catastrophe, I don't blame myself. I was so stupid back then. No, I was just sincere. If only I'd realized sooner. So what? Sooner freedom is still freedom. I almost want to applaud my past self. Thank you, Sharon. Thank you for loving bravely. And thank you even more for standing up decisively, burning all the rotten people and rotten things to the ground. And then, on the ruins, building something higher. The world has opened its doors to me again. This time, I hold the power of choice. I've learned to give kindness only to those who deserve it. I've learned to stop trying to save people who insist on destroying themselves. I've learned to stop carrying the consequences of other people's lives. My energy is reserved for my dreams, my career, and the people I truly care about, who truly care about me in return. That nightmare of betrayal, deception, and exploitation is finally over. Sunlight pours into the office, bright, without a single shadow. My new life began a long time ago, and it's better than any day I've ever lived before. The real satisfaction isn't the thrill of revenge. It's what comes after breaking every chain, that boundless freedom that belongs to me alone.